Today's Coffee Talk is brought to you by Jason Lee and the Jason Leader for all your morning needs. Well, now we have our advertising over with. We're going to get started with our panel. Zach, since you're on the home turf, we'll let you start with your intro and we'll move on.
Hey, I'm Zach. I used to be a team leader at the KW Gardendale office and just joined back at this office in January. So I've been in real estate for almost 5 years now. I've got 2 kids, wife, we live in Helena. Yeah, life's good. So, I make videos.
I'm Cody Perry. I'm in the KW Vestavia office. November of 2016 is when I started, so I guess I'm coming up on 10 years.
Oh, wow.
A while.
Not only does he make videos, he does math.
Yeah.
Were you 10? I
You didn't
know.
know.
We're like, we know that's not right. You have to be 19. That's a question.
I'm 33. I also have 2 kids, and we live in Bluff Park in Hoover.
And I'm Jeannie Shea, and I'm clearly the senior member of this panel, representing
love
all of us
senior
who are not 30
members.
years old.
Yes.
So
How
we'll bear with
fabulous.
us
We love you.
for
Which is even more impressive.
There we go. Thank you very much. And I don't know how long I've been in real estate, as my friend Linda Baker says, before Jesus was a baby. And I used to be a team leader, Sherry, 15 years ago maybe.
When we opened our
Hoover.
market center, we incubated out of the Hoover office and Jimmy was the team leader then. That was
Wow. Yeah, I
Wow.
took about 2
Yeah,
It
it's on
was 2008, 2009, a long time ago. So I've been around the block a time or two. I took a hiatus from real estate because I didn't have good systems, and so I totally burned out. And I was like, peace out, back to healthcare all day long. So I bailed for 7 or 8 years, and then came back. I don't know, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, as a single agent in the Hoover office. And I am trying to retire because I just turned 70 and I want to go home and do nothing.
You look
So
great.
my daughter, Audrey Brewer, over here with her beautiful curly hair, is taking over my business. She's
Yay.
actually in the Vestavia office.
Good.
And I have 1 million videos. I think I have 856 or something on my YouTube channel. So when we start talking about this and y'all are worried about getting started, you're worried about what you look
Go
like,
back and look at your
go back to
videos.
my very first one. They're hilarious. Because they never go away. You can
They never go away.
I love that.
Yes.
All right, that segues into our first question. Where did you start? This is for all of you. When and why did you start using social media to get your message out about real estate, about the real estate market?
So I'm a big Tom Ferry person. Those of you who know Tom Ferry, he's a real estate coach, national. And Tom Ferry was very into video way before anyone else talked about videos for real estate agents. So I started 1 million years ago and just started doing selfie videos. And what I know from having a marketing, advertising, public relations background is when people hear you and see you, they feel like they know you.
Yeah.
And familiarity builds trust. So that's why you do videos. It doesn't matter what you look like, what you hear like, what you hear like. So you think about it, if you're like me, I grew up watching ABC News. And we always watch that same person who's on TV every day, and we feel like they're our best friend. Back in the day, it used to be Pam Huff. So of course I knew Pam Huff. She was my best friend. She was yours too, right? Oh, we're a bunch of Pam Huff fans. Savannah Guthrie, we all feel like we're Savannah's friend. We hurt for her, we feel for her. And why? Because we see her and we hear her, so we feel like we know her personality. And so we relate to her and we trust her. That's what video does for you. That's why I started, and that's why I continue to share with you.
This is really good.
I mean, what's that gonna say? That's like the perfect answer.
Dang, I gotta get the videos.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's spot on as the reason why. I mean, I started in 2019. I went back and looked at it because I saw the options ahead of time. And I'm literally sitting at my kitchen counter, and it's like a 4.5 minute video with no editing, just at my kitchen counter talking to the camera about how to buy a house. And it's, you should, if you have the patience to scroll all the videos back and go back and watch it, it's very embarrassing, but you should if you're, you know, worried about what you look like or if your video is going to be bad because, you know, the more you do it, the better you get. But it's funny to go back and watch. Like you said, those videos live forever, unfortunately. And yeah, I mean, you got to start somewhere. So, but yeah, same thing. I mean, no like and trust. That's, you know, started, you know, real estate when I was 23, 24, and I was an Instagram consumer. And so I was like, well, it makes sense. You know, I'm on this platform all the time, so other people are too. So I need to just get in front of people. And I'm so young, I don't really have like a big network of people that can buy homes. And so I'm just gonna, you know, throw out what I know and see what happens. So.
When Cody got in with real estate, my wardrobe was crap.
Yeah.
When I used to work for Tom James, I used to buy all my clothes from him. Did a loan for Lisa, buy a new jacket.
Yeah, business is slow. I was like, Mom, you got to sell another house with Jason.
Yeah, what they said, I mean, it's, I got in 5 years ago. I wouldn't say I was super consistent the first few years, but I really tried. If I was out showing a house or, you know, have an open house or something like that, at least do a live video or something of that nature. But the reason I really wanted to dive in, I know it's more or less about social media, but we are kind of all video people, so I'll try to take her to both. But it's just to get the message out to more people. So, because my sphere is like pretty limited, and then the people that actually really know me and, you know, and everything, it's pretty tight. So I knew, you know, I started on a team and everything to get more business and meet more people. I just got to put myself out there. And again, like Cody said, if you go back and watch some of my first ones, definitely don't talk like this on there. It's more stiff and, you know, making sure I'm saying the right thing. So if I had any advice, it would be your first couple videos are going to be bad. Get over it. You look how you look and you sound how you sound.
Right.
You just
Yeah,
literally
that's
got,
what
the more practice you get at it, it's like with
What
everything
people
else,
say.
you're going to get better.
So, y'all all have been doing this for a while, but what was the pain point you ever came to start doing video posting?
I've just not known what the heck to do. I mean, not knowing how to do any of it. I had never edited a video. I never made videos, you know. I mean, I used Instagram as just a picture platform that I would see something cool and just post a picture of it and move on, you know. So, yeah, I mean, there's so much what works, how to like build a hook, how to keep people engaged, and it's ever changing. So there's always something new to learn with it. But if you are serious about making it a part of your business, it's worth learning. The returns and the clients you get from it are the easiest and best clients, in my opinion. So.
I think the pain point for me personally, and I still struggle with it right now, is I have so many ideas, so many different things pop in my head, and it's like, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. And we know, like in real estate, if we pick some type of lead source or you know, strategy that we want to stick with, say I want to go do open houses, well, I need to stay consistent with that for, you know, 6 months to see the return and actually gauge, you know, how many leads and, you know, deals I can close from it. So the pain point for me is just staying consistent with the strategy that I pick for that time. So I really have to put boundaries up and tell the people that are kind of around me, helping me, hey, I'm going to come to you with a ton of ideas, but remind me what we talked about last week, and we're going to stick with that. So that's my biggest pain point, honestly.
I'll add on to that really quickly too. It's also figuring out like who you're speaking to, because I think a lot of times in the beginning you just throw out something that you think, you know, everybody should know.
Right.
But when you like find your niche of people that you're trying to reach out to and you just hammer that, it's a lot more effective than just trying to speak to everybody all the time.
I think it's really easy to overthink things. And I'm thankful that's not something I suffer with. I'm a high D and I'm just get it done and I don't care. And so you can get very caught up in how am I going to start? What am I going to do? What am I going to wear? Oh, my hair has to be perfect this day. And so therefore you don't do anything. And we can always come up with a million excuses because we want this perfection. And I think energy and intent always surpasses perfection. And so if you can get past that perfection issue, and just get it done. And once you get going and you get a few under your belt, then, down the road, if you want to polish and be more intentional, and it's great to do all these things right out the gate, but it's not realistic.
It's also never going to be exactly what you want it to be.
True.
Right? Like, even doing it as much as the three of us have done, I think we can all say that. Like, there are very few videos that turn out exactly the way that we want them to, or to the standard that we hope that they will be. But done is better than perfect. Like, just getting it out there.
Well, then when you make too that, you're like, this isn't gonna do anything, and then it's like, oh, okay, that's the one that I actually got business from. I was gonna add to your point though, but like, imperfect action beats perfect. Imperfect action beats perfect inaction every single day.
Yeah.
So you literally just gotta do it. Just gotta do it.
You said that way better than I did. I said crappy prospecting is better than no prospecting.
Yeah.
There you go.
Start somewhere.
Same thing.
All right, so this is for all of y'all. How often do you guys try to post per week? And is there any cadence that you try to adhere to when posting, like so much family versus business?
Yeah,
So we do, what do we do, Audrey?
I think you do 4 days a week. I
Yeah,
only got mine's 3.
okay. So I can't keep up with it. Thank goodness I have Clara in my life, who is kind of a personal manager who does all things. Took a long time to find a Clara. But we do batch video work. And we might see Clara once a month. She actually lives in Georgia now. And so we'll get together and we'll just do a bunch of stuff. And half the time we don't know what it's gonna look like. Because we've been doing a lot of shorts. Now we need to transition back to long format video, which I've done for years and I hate, but it's what we need to be doing. So that requires a little more thought process and planning and making sure your title and your first sentence match and all the things. But we post something 4 days a week on my channel. And when we talk about posting, we post everywhere. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, if you do TikTok, everywhere, because think about it, you go to all the trouble and time to create this piece of content, put it out there.
That same one,
Exactly.
and that's
Exactly.
a short.
Now, some of them work better in, like a short
It's like a
on
real.
YouTube is different than actually the real.
I got
They're usually
Yeah.
under a minute. They're short.
Not that good.
It's 15 seconds.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
So you don't incorporate in like your new listings or just sold, you're into that?
We do. We
Okay,
do. Not as good about that, but yes. we do.
okay,
So they'll interrupt the
Yeah.
plan, but that's okay.
okay.
As they come up, we try to throw something out there and and then you have stories. You can throw things on stories, randomly. So,
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was going to say is I'm very active pretty much every day on stories. And on the feed itself, I'm probably honestly 1 to 2 times a week. And I think the reason for that is I used to put a lot of pressure on myself to do, 3, 4 videos a week. But the types of videos, like we're all very different in what we do. And the types of videos that I do just take more time and they're more storytelling or cinematic, I guess you could say. And so it's really a lot of pressure to do that 3, 4 times a week. And so I look at it now like the stories are where people are going to get to know me. They're going to get to see the unfiltered, quick snippets of my life. So that way they'll like you and trust you. And then I look at the grid as more of like, kind of like a portfolio of like what I'm capable of, how I market. And then that's what grows the following. So stories are for people who already follow me. The feed is how to grow,
Okay.
There's no magic answer for this one. Really, it just depends on your cadence. For me personally, again, I struggle with the consistency thing. I already shared that. But what I've done lately, I do 2 long form YouTube videos, say like one on Monday, one on Wednesday or Thursday. And then what I'll do is I'll take that same long form. Surprisingly, I didn't know this until earlier in the year, but long form is really taking off, at least on my TikTok. I mean, like the long form, you turn the phone sideways and you've got it this way, and then it's like 3 to 10 minutes long. And they're actually taking off on there. Instagram's a little different. It's got like a 3-minute cap where it won't show it to new people. So I try to like split those up into parts. But all of my stuff really just keys in on my YouTube, with that long form, and then I'll cut shorts up out of that. So 2 times a week. And then what I've been doing as well is I'll go to vacant listings around and just do quick, just kind of on the ground. Here's a house. I don't even get the price point, but what I'll do is like do 5-bed, 4 bath, this many square foot, and then where it's at. And then I'll say message for details, obviously giving listing courtesy of whoever the listing agent is. And I've seen that just like take off because I've seen so many other agents do it. I'm like, I'm not going to spend forever editing and making all these, pretty videos. Let me just go through and do a little sweep of each room and then post it. So I'll try to do that 3 or 4 times a week. And it's done well. As far as family stuff, that's where I've been struggling. So I want to get on the stories more like I used to, just so people can get to know me. Sometimes I get in my head too much and just think, I just gotta get these videos out. The pressure like you're talking about. But we'll dial it back a little bit.
Is there a certain length of time for the longs?
Yeah, so it kind of goes back and forth, but kind of like what Cody said earlier, you're not trying to speak to everybody at the same time. You want to really like niche down to whoever your avatar is. So the best thing that I would tell you is try a couple different lengths. So say maybe a 4-minute video, maybe a 10-minute, and then you could even just do like a live style video of 20 minutes where you're just talking, being unfiltered, and just having a good time, and just see which ones get you the most interaction, the most reach, and then just double down on that. So
You can also track your analytics too on Instagram, especially. That's kind of the main thing that I focus on. But you can see, I can go in and see like my audience is like 56% women in Hoover, Alabama, between ages like 33 and 43 years old. So
Bet they are.
And then 18 to 26-year-old males.
I take all that.
All right, sorry. Cody, your posts are creative and story driven. Where does the thought come from, and is there anyone that helps you with this?
So the ideas themselves, for the most part, are me. It's like a creative outlet for me. I know that's not for everybody. I just really enjoy it. And so I have buckets of content. You can create folders on Instagram that you can save. And so I create buckets just for different things that I enjoy. So I've got like a running folder, a golf folder, a real estate content folder. And I just I'll go through and just save stuff, even if it has nothing to do with real estate. I'm like, why did I like this video? What was engaging about it? What creative angle did this person take? And then I can go back and revisit it later and then make it fit into the bucket of content that I need for that week. But yes, I do have a videographer now who edits everything for me, and that's been a game changer. That's just freed up a lot of time.
So you put other videos you see from other people into different buckets into Instagram?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you just save them.
So like on playlist or whatever you want.
Like in your collections.
Collections.
Yeah. Also have a running list on my phone.
Yeah.
That I just kind of go through once a month and look at and kind of plan ahead that way.
So is your videographer here? Like a person, like not virtual?
No, it's not virtual.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I've been working with it for a month, so, but it's helped a lot.
It's your videos.
Yeah.
The editing has been real creative.
Jenny, your posts feel intentional and trust building. How did you decide what to post? Because you're very active on LinkedIn, and that's a different demographic.
So that's hilarious. I post the same thing on LinkedIn that I do everywhere else. So what are my videos? Trust something?
Trust building.
Are intentional and trust building.
So interesting. So the whole idea of setting yourself apart as a realtor is to establish yourself as a knowledge broker of whoever your target audience is, whether that's a geographic area or a certain segment of the population. So if your focus is first-time home buyers, then you need to share information that first-time home buyers need to hear again and again and again and again. So as Cody talked about, you focus on one thing, because none of us can be all things to all people. And it's confusing to all the algorithms, to Google and all of those algorithms. If one day you're talking about first-time homebuyers and the next day you're talking about retirees, and then you've got lake homes over here. So figure out who you are, who you want to be when you grow up. Pick a segment. I'm still working on it. Pick a segment that you want to target, and the more you can lean into that, the more you build trust in that category or in that area. And for instance, I focus on Hoover. I've been Hoover Realtor for a million years, and that's all I do. And a lot of people will say, well, but what if you have a great house, a listing coming trustful or Alabaster? Would you do that? Well, yeah. Do I want to? No. I can't be an expert on Helena.
Yeah.
But I can be an expert on Hoover. I can tell you all kinds of things about Hoover, as can Cody, because he focuses even more so on Bluff Park.
Yeah.
But the more you can narrow your focus, the more you can be the expert, the more you can talk about all things. So when someone wants to buy a home in Trace Crossings, can the other realtors who've never listed a home in Trace Crossings tell them about what's coming with the new on-ramp for 459 and where's it gonna land and how's it gonna impact their world? If you don't know that, how well are you serving your clients? So that's where that whole trust thing comes in. You have to establish yourself as the knowledge broker. And you can do that through social media.
As a Ross Bridge resident, I can't wait for that.
Yeah. So Audrey's just starting out. She lives in Mount Brook, my daughter. You all know how hard it is to break into Mount Brook. So her Instagram account, we're not polluting it with anything but Mount Brook, Mount Brook, Mount Brook, Mount Brook. So if you go to audrey.r.brewer, you'll see, and we're just getting started with her, so it's kind of nice because all the mistakes I make, we'll just jumpstart. Everything is focused on Mountain Brook. So even though she's taking over my business and I'm Hoover, we're not going to pollute her accounts with Hoover. It confuses Google and all the algorithms. So we're trying to establish her as a knowledge broker for Mountain Brook. It's going to be a really hard thing, but we're going to try it. We'll see. So.
Awesome.
That's great.
Zach, you take a very educational approach. Areas to buy, buying process, etc. How do you decide what problem you need to solve?
Well, it's wide open. So kind of what she's saying about just speaking just to Hoover, I really started keying in on, I like Helena, Pelham, Alabaster. I mean, I'll sell everywhere else, but I call it Helena Bastard, so it's a lot of other people, but it's where I live. I mean, I just want to know everything about it. So I want to be able to share that with everyone else too. Also, I'm a big researcher. So just seeing how other people do their like YouTube channels and the types of content that they're doing, I can just rip off and duplicate because they're in Texas and I'm in little Alabama. So I just do that, and really I work with a lot of first-time home buyers and relocators. So the questions are just already in here,
That's what I was gonna say. When I watch your content, I think about people relocating to Birmingham.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah,
You're
I like
very good at that.
Yeah.
I think that's great for long form too. The medium you're using to speak to those people is the perfect medium, I think.
Awesome. All right, this is for all of you. From idea to post, how long does a simple piece of content really take?
Define simple.
Let's just say a reel.
So I pick a day a month, and we'll do usually 3 videos. Yesterday was actually the day, and it's like an all day thing. And really, it's more than an all day thing for me. The types of videos that I'm doing, because the scripting and planning is what takes 80% of the time. That way, when we get out there, we know exactly what to do, what we're saying, what shots we want to get, that kind of thing. And that is the hardest part. The thing that I'm trying to get better at is the storytelling and how to keeping people engaged, tracking those metrics. When are people stopping watching the videos? When are they liking the videos? All those things. So it takes a while. The type of videos that I'm doing.
So a question about the metrics. So based on what the metrics are telling you, are you holding some post and posting it at a different time on different,
No.
sites or whatever? It's just boom, here's the time I'm posting it.
Yeah, I don't have time for that. Yeah, I mean, I'm like you. I'm an idea. Like once it's done, let's get it out there.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is good to go back and look at the metrics and say, why did people stop watching it at this exact moment in time? You know, and
Right.
not being hard on yourself from like, I sucked here or whatever, but like just outside or even asking others, like, why do you think people were not engaged from this point on? Because it fell off a cliff here. And how can I do that differently or better going forward?
Can also say a
So
lot about the
smart.
people who are actually watching your video and what their attention spans are and how, are they on their lunch break and they're just scanning, they don't have time to sit and watch a long video, or,
Exactly.
it tells you a lot about their personality, their stage of life, their,
One thing I'm trying to get better at, there's so much fluff. Like each shot should be a lot shorter than you probably think it should be. And I, in the beginning especially, dragged that out a lot longer than I should have. And so you can, the storyboarding is like, how can I say this in a very concise way to move on to the next shot, And that's the hard part.
Okay, well, that segues a little bit into the next
But
question.
some content can take 3 seconds.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, like
Like,
the story,
you go to the house,
or yeah, like what I was
Take
saying,
a
like
video
yeah,
and you post it.
But
Yeah,
do
it's
you
like
ever
you-
want to go
No.
back to that? Is there ever
No.
a point where you guys think, God,
No.
I mean, because like you said, 80% of the time is planning the script, planning the content, planning
Whole
what you're going to
format. It's a whole different ballgame.
do. Okay,
Yeah, we're all very
Whole
different.
different ballgame. It's
Yeah.
not
Okay.
format.
I would say even for his like the short form that he's doing, you would compare that more or less to like a long form planning and editing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my
That's right.
videos are only like a minute long,
Right.
and it takes a long time to shoot that minute.
It's super high quality. So.
Yes. Like how long? Like you say a long time. Like
All
an
day.
hour.
exactly.
I mean, like that running video was probably like a 2.5 hour shoot.
Yeah.
But the planning behind it was even longer.
Yeah.
Do you keep like a journal of like stuff that, okay, I want to do a video like this, and here's what I'm saying, or here's
Yeah, I mean, the note on my phone and then the folders on Instagram are kind of what I'm not a big paper guy, so everything's just kind of on the phone.
So a lot of what we hear excuses for not doing what you guys are doing is editing. What part of editing really matters if they want to get started? What part of it?
Well, I'll say this. I think you can compare yourself to people that are doing these amazing, crazy things. And they're using, Adobe software and all this, they're color grading. We were talking about that before we started today. There's just the deeper you go, the more there is to it. But there are great tools out there that make it very easy, like the Edits app on Instagram or CapCut or some of those other ones that are so just user-friendly if you've never done it before, that you can spend a week learning and enough to be dangerous,
And I'll say some of the simple ones like I've been doing. I found like what he's saying, where mine drops off is, hey, I'm Zach, I'm your local real estate. They don't care about me. If they do,
Right.
they'll click my profile, all my info's there. So I try to just, obviously I put the KW thing on there, you guys do or whatever, but just, hit it real quick, but I'll edit natively in like TikTok or Instagram. If it's really simple, if I'm just putting some overlay or some words on it, I can go out, I just showed the property, 2 days ago, saved 10 minutes after, filmed it, edited in like 10 minutes and posted it. So find the trending audio and go for it. But
So it doesn't have to be hard. And if you're just
Yeah.
getting started, don't edit it at all.
Yeah.
Just don't.
Just do
You
it.
don't have to. So this guy's gonna be the professional of all time. None of us else are gonna get there like him because he's so over the top good. But you can just do a selfie video walking into a house and do not ever introduce yourself, ever.
Mm.
That is the #1 rule. Hi, this is Julie Shane at KW. Gone. Don't ever do that,
Yeah.
ever.
Okay.
So stop that. You need a hook, like, have you been looking for a main level living home? Or are you tired of all the stairs in your house? Or have you outgrown your garage or whatever? Ask a question and then answer it and just walk through the house. Say, guys, I have the deal for you today. this house at 123 Banana Street, oh my gosh, you're gonna love it. Let me give you a quick look. Call me if you want more information, blah, 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 and post it. It does not have to be hard. If you think you have to learn editing and do all that stuff, you're never gonna do it.
So would you do that same for the 250 as opposed to the 950?
Price point?
Yeah.
Are you like,
Same type of video.
I'm
If
saying,
you're
would-
just starting out doing video or doing any social media, something's better than nothing.
Also, you don't have to do the whole house. Like you can just
Don't do the
showcase.
whole house.
Yeah, you can just showcase one or two cool things in the house and keep it short and sweet.
Your favorite thing.
Yeah.
Can I tell you my favorite thing about this house? Are you looking for a house, a waterfront property?
And then what about I know you say not to introduce ourselves, what about the things that MLS holds us accountable to? Where do you put it? Do you put it? Do you not put
Yes,
it?
you
Because
have
we
to
have to
have-
do that.
You have
So
to
I do the
put it everywhere.
videos and that's why, do you just put them on the screen instead of saying them?
Yeah, you can just
Like put them
lay
on the
it,
post
lay it
and
at the
put it in
beginning.
there?
Yeah.
That's, because I mean, I want to make
On the
sure,
street.
So you just put your name and your brokerage.
yeah.
No, you don't. You don't.
Yeah.
You don't have to have your name, just your brokerage.
You can just put your,
Just
uh,
brokerage.
but the-
Because the
Don't
name
have
is
to
already
be
there.
Oh, okay.
As long as you don't have to click see.
I'll tell you from a,
Yeah.
from
If you can,
But it has to be the very first thing. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have to
depends on what platform you're on, if you're pulling up at the same thing, if you can see it or not.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you gotta make sure.
Right, right.
I mean, this might get me
Don't
in
worry about
trouble.
your name.
Yeah, this might get me in trouble, but I just hate it. Just looks like a tramp stamp on a video to have a big KW logo, and I hate it.
So what do you
Tiny
do?
So
one.
I literally just for the caption, the first words is Keller Williams Realty, and then
So
I
you
just
put
say
the
what I'm gonna say.
Okay, that's what. I
oh,
was-
you don't actually type it on the.
Okay, I like that.
Tramp
Okay.
stamp for video.
It just looks like
You're
it
right,
looks
you're
like a
right.
real estate video.
I agree.
That's true.
I think,
Love it.
I think in our world, because we eat, breathe, everything real estate all the time, that we think everybody talks about real estate. So one thing I'll add is content wise, you can put the most basic stuff out there. We've got a loan officer that's trying to make it big in Asheville and didn't make it. And he literally sits on a couch, plugs his guitar in, and he just plays guitar. And the thing at the top goes, an FHA loan only requires 3.5% down. You know, you can get rid of PMI if you put 20%. That's the most basic stuff, and he gets all kinds of views. And he's not doing anything. He's just sitting there playing guitar.
Well, it's also a pattern interrupt. It's the two don't go together, and that's why people are like, well, what the heck? What? You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's really cool.
That is.
All right, this is for all you guys. What was the biggest mental block you had to overcome to post consistently? Let's skip that one. That was kind of similar. Was there a post you almost didn't share? This is for all of you guys. And what made you click the post button? Or what post did you almost not share that got the most reaction? How about that? Let's get there.
So my dancing video to this day has more views than anything. And it's just happy and I can't dance. And Clara, my admin, took the video. She said, we gotta do it, we gotta do it. I'm like, whatever. So I just let her post it. And to this day, it has the most views. It doesn't have anything to do with real estate.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
A couple of years ago, you know, if you do video consistently, I think everybody probably goes through a period where they're trying to figure out what their style is, what their voice is. And so you try a bunch of different random things. And I went through this phase where I had all these ideas that were bizarre ideas. And there was probably a 6-month period where I didn't really want to post any of the things I was making, not because I was embarrassed by the idea, but I was just having to act like an idiot to get the video out there. Like there's one video where I'm acting like the Allstate agent guy and I'm acting like I'm a termite in a crawl space. And I'm like, this is ridiculous, you know. There's all these, yeah, I mean, there's a lot. But even just the videos that I don't think are to the quality or standard that I want them to be, those are the hardest ones. And I think I talked to y'all maybe last time I was here about this video, but I green screened myself in the car talking about how different cities are compared to different professional golfers or whatever. It was the most basic thing. And I was like, this is not really like on brand for the style of videos I'm doing, but I think it's like a, you know, creative idea. I just want to get it out there. And it's got like almost 400,000 views and was shared like 10,000 times. And it's like, you know, who am I to judge my own what should be posted and not, you know, it's like, if I have the idea, just put it out there.
That's awesome.
I'd say for me, just so big into planning and stuff, so I don't have a lot of like examples of this because I'm a high D as well. So as soon as it's done, I just hit post because I've already like planned it out. But I'd say when I was getting started, like heavy into video, I had an idea. My son was like, he wasn't even a year old yet, or he might have been around a year. But we had a little playhouse in the backyard, and I was like, hey, this would be funny if he was like the real estate agent, and I was like trying to buy this house. So I had his little Elmo phone, and I'm like, I look silly and stuff, but it did really well. And it's something I kind of want to get back to, is doing a little more of that family style like content, because I'm a dad and husband too. So I feel like that's a really good connector. So like whoever you are,
Get to know you.
yeah, same thing like he does like with the golfing and running and stuff. It's like whoever you are, there's like a million people out there like you. To speak to them, you got to actually be able to be authentic and show that. So yeah, that was a good one.
All right, Zach, you're on multiple platforms. How do you decide where the content lives first?
YouTube for me, because I can basically crop in the long form and make a short if I want. The way I record the scripts, I rehook every 60 seconds or so. So one 10-minute video, I can have like 10 separate reels on. So that's where it lives first. My handle is the same on all 4 platforms, so it's easy for people to find me. It's consistent. I found like if I'm trying to post a ton of different content on each of the different platforms, for me, it's not working because like to your point, the algorithms get kind of mixed up and all that kind of stuff. So I would say more or less YouTube, and then TikTok's kind of taken off with the same kind of content, especially local. Their algorithm is so good. I know, I guess Instagram's probably is too. I just haven't broken into that market yet. But I've posted some local food stuff and just like local highlights, and those things have just taken off. And they're like, wow, why am I seeing this on my page? It's, the algorithm's getting too personal or something like that. I'm like, yes, good. That's what I want. I want you to see it. But yeah, that's it for me. I just kind of post and share the same kind of stuff. I'll maybe custom tailor like some of the cover photos, because on most of the videos you can put different cover photos. Maybe some that work better on different platforms, and I might like snip out like the hey, I'm Zach, it's nice to meet you, because a lot of the relocation stuff, they don't know who you are, so I'll cut that out for the other platforms because I feel like it works well.
Cody, I think the answer, we're using Instagram on that, right? What about you, Jane?
All platforms, all at once. Literally, click, all at once. But if you're not posting what you do on YouTube, then it evaporates, kind of. So if you go to the trouble to do something, put it on YouTube, and it lives there forever and ever, amen. And if you have learned how to zero in on your topic, and it is a searchable topic, like buying homes in Hoover, Alabama. If someone goes and Googles buying homes in Hoover, Alabama, and I have a video buying homes in Hoover, Alabama, Google owns YouTube. Google's going to send them to my YouTube channel. That's why you want to do YouTube. That's why Zach's YouTube do so well, because he knows the titles. So whatever your title, make sure it's a searchable. Is it something that people would search in Google? And here's a tip that nobody will tell you. Go to Google and type in wherever your town is or something about it. Main level homes in Hoover, Alabama, and click on it. And it'll come up and you'll see, and keep scrolling and keep scrolling and keep scrolling. And you'll come to a section on every single Google search that says, and people also asked, there's a million questions. There's your video topics. Right there. Google will give them to you. Go right there. Do a Google a video on every one of those things. It's so simple. Then you don't have to think about it. Then at least Google, there are people in Google who are looking for that topic. So if you do a video about that and you post it on YouTube, then it's a searchable topic.
Are you using any technology to post those across all those places, or is it just individual posts?
Clara does it, so that really answers
It's Clara.
that.
It's Clara. It's just Clara.
It's Clara.
Is this something we can put?
She says that I think she uses a scheduling tool. She used to not though, but she may not still. I think she just posts them. It's not a big deal. It's not hard if you know how to do it.
Well, how did you start doing it? Because that's what we were. So when you didn't have Claire, what'd you do?
I would post them myself.
Yeah.
Go
I mean, it's not gonna take
Just
enough
go in
time
and
to post,
individually-
I mean,
Individually.
Well,
post.
like,
First one not.
Instagram, if you post on
It starts
Instagram, will
with
auto-populate to
YouTube and then
Facebook
brings them all
if you have that.
Yeah, we're talking about less than 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not, yeah.
it's like that's a long term.
All right,
Yeah, exactly.
so some of these questions are then redundant, so I'm asking you questions. Cody, if you don't mind, what is the cost of your editor and how many hours a week is it saving?
The cost is $1,200 a month. So it's not cheap. But it saves me so much time. And I track everything. So last year I sold 9 homes to strangers on Instagram. Average price point's a little under 500, like 475. So let's just call it 500 times 9, 4.5 million in volume. It's well worth it. You know, the return is well worth it. And the time it saves me. And the clients that I get are people that already, they've reached out to me, so there's no selling that I'm having to do on why they should use me.
No, you love, you trust you.
Yeah. And they usually have something in common with me, so it's very easy.
It's golden when you do it.
All right, what do you guys say to the agent who says, I don't want to look silly or feel uncomfortable?
Welcome to the club.
Don't be a secret agent.
Just get out there.
Well,
Yeah, I
especially if you're stepping into it and we have this massive amount of people that have perfected it.
Right.
Here comes Christy
It's
Larry
daunting.
going, hey, y'all, you know, and y'all's videos look amazing. It turned me off too within 3 seconds. So that's where I.
Well, you're gonna have a different niche.
Yeah, you're
I
also
know,
gonna
yeah,
be
I know, but still.
Yeah, the person who hires you is not gonna be the person who hires
Correct.
me.
Right.
And so lean into who you are and, yeah, embrace
I
that.
mean, the whole
Goodness,
job is
Christy,
uncomfortable,
you're so
right?
good
Yeah.
with all of your
Yeah.
Our whole job is
Yeah.
uncomfortable. This is
Didn't
just
have to
one
be
facet
my
of that. And
That shouldn't be my face.
Right, but real estate has become a look at me
You're
industry.
good too.
for sure.
I mean, come on, you know, I mean, it's tough.
Sure.
So, with y'all talking about doing YouTube to be able to do Google search, right? A lot of people are moving away from Google searches and all, like ChatGPT. Are y'all doing anything to try to get into that space?
100%. 100%. So chat and AI is more direct question based. So do videos that are more direct question based. You just shift a little bit. The question, they're still asking questions, it's just a little bit different. But all day long, yeah, you gotta stay on top of AI.
When you Google something now, what do you see at the top whenever you ask a question?
Yep.
Yeah, Gemini is like right there. So a lot of people use Gemini too.
Yeah.
And Google's pumping a ton of money into it to try to kick ChatGPT in the butt, but we'll see where that lands. I've done some research on it for sure. The hard part is if you're not purchasing and spending a ton of money on like the Google ads and the, you know, when you go to search top realtor in X area, you're gonna see all the sponsored, you know, people. Then underneath that's the people with the most reviews. But if you click the video section, you'll see me. So and that's what I want because I know it'll end up populating at some point. The more consistent I stay with it. So
Yeah, I saw a video one time about ChatGPT and it said, like, just take your client's question. Like, the question was, hey, what program do you have for a first-time home buyer? You actually talk into ChatGPT and say, hi, my name's Jason Lee. I'm the best first-time home buyer lender in Birmingham, Alabama. And then ask the question and get the answer and then post the answer on a blog or something like that. Then when other people start talking to it, I have a first-time home buyer in Birmingham, and it goes, oh, wait, I was already talking to Jason about this. And here's some posts on the internet about it and on YouTube. It teaches them who you are, kind of thing. All right, lightning round. Here we go. This is for all you guys. One platform, only one platform if you had to delete the rest.
Instagram.
say YouTube.
Okay, one thing agents should stop doing on social media.
Stop selling.
We said that, don't introduce yourself.
Don't sell, don't tell, just, you know, provide value. So just get straight to the, like he's saying, how he can cut his videos down, all the fluff out. Cut your fluff out. Get right down to it.
Yeah, also figure out what makes you different and just do that. Because I think the tendency for most of us is we follow a bunch of realtors, like, oh, we need to be doing this too, and then every video looks the same. And it's hard to remember who you are when you're just in the crowd of everybody doing the exact same thing. I don't know. I try really hard to change that, just to like be an interrupt in the feed of all the other realtors that my followers are also following. Yeah.
So did none of y'all put, like, any of you put your houses that you're selling on your feeds in your?
I will do it.
And how often do you do that? Like, if you have a new listing, do you go and do a little new listing or do you not?
I'll do it every now and then. So right now I have 8 houses under contract,
Okay.
and I put a carousel post of just all 8 houses just to like
Right.
get it done instead of posting 8 individual posts and the whole feed just being.
Yeah, but not everybody has 8 at the same time.
Or I mean whatever.
Right.
Um,
Okay.
But
Yeah.
you can do it all different ways.
But your mom does that though.
She does, and those posts for me are the least liked, least engaged
Sure.
posts. It's really just a quick like, and I know that going in.
Right,
It's just a, hey, I'm still selling houses. Keep scrolling.
right.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like,
You do
don't
it for
forget,
your
I do this for
seller.
a living.
Yeah.
You do it for yourself.
That is,
That's
Yes.
why we post ours.
Yeah, yeah.
Our seller's gonna feel like, we gotta put it out there.
you're working.
Cause
You're
they're
working.
stalking that.
Well, that's why I have my Facebook
Okay.
page.
They're stalking.
My business Facebook page is
For that.
boring that stuff.
Okay.
And it's
Your
fine.
social media is your new resume.
Yeah.
It is your resume.
Mm.
People will never call you or call you above everybody else based on what that looks like.
Well said.
All right, draft and edit or post immediately?
Depends on where you are.
You can only do one.
Oh, you can only do one.
Yeah.
What were the two
Well,
options?
that's not a. Bing.
I didn't like the questions.
Draft and edit.
Like,
Or post immediately.
if you can only edit every time, or you can just do it and put it out. Which one? And you can only do one of those. Which one do you choose?
I edit every single time.
Yeah.
But
if
have you
I mean,
always, think back to when you guys started, not to the
my very first
geniuses you are
video was
now.
4.5 minutes of me at a kitchen counter with no editing at all, and it had like 12 likes. So I mean, you start somewhere. Just the more you do it, the easier all this stuff. It's like everything else in our business. The more cold calls you make, the easier it gets. The more open houses you do, the easier it gets. If this is a true leg of your business, you have to work it like it's a true leg of your business. And everything gets easier the more you do it.
And just so, those of you who absolutely hate social media and you're never gonna do it, I'm guessing you're here because you're at least thinking about it or trying. But if you hate it and you're never ever gonna do it,
Right.
guess what? You can still have a real estate business. Life will go on.
Right.
What social media will do for you is fast track it, make it a little easier, make it a little smoother, but it's not the be all end all. So there's lots of other ways, as we all talk about, to build your real estate business. It's just a nice overlay. So when you're building that 3-legged stool, you know, it's one more overlay of getting your name out there and your face out there and who you are.
100%.
It's just better when you get that call. Hey, I saw your stuff online. Like, I had a house. You know, come see it listed, and you're like, yeah, sure, let's do it.
I have a bunch of screenshots on my phone from last year of all the messages I've gotten from strangers on Instagram. So if you want to see those, I mean, I think it's sometimes helpful to see the proof behind what we're just saying, so you know we're not full of crap.
You're still full of crap.
I'm still full of crap. No,
Well, And for us, Google was my #1 lead source, 3 or 4 years in a row, by a whole lot, like
Wow.
over 10 million a year just on Google. And that was from videos. So, and a lot of them were people from out of state. So they would Google, moving to Hoover, Alabama, or whatever. A lot of them were grandparents. Imagine that, grandparents reaching out to a grandmother, moving into town. But they would watch a video on, they would Google something. Google would send them to my YouTube channel. They would start watching all my YouTube channels. My YouTube channel would direct them to my website. It would capture their name and information, drop it into my CRM, send me a message. Mary Jo Smith is looking at your website, and by the way, she looked at all these houses. Then they get dropped into my MailChimp, they get dripped on, and they were mine.
So much automation.
So it's a system, but it started with a YouTube video and Google. And so Google was a gold mine. We did more than 10 million in Google. I mean, I think I did 15, 20 million in Google, probably 2 or 3 years in a row. It was
Wow.
gold, and it was from YouTube. And so, you know how old I am. And we all are who we are. And so some of the videos were good, some of them were pretty slow. They're all over the board, but people would start watching them and watching them and watching them. And it's fascinating how many of them are still watched, and they're 5 years old, they're 10 years old. Because it's basic information about Hoover, and that's what people want. So just get started, but put it on your, make a YouTube channel. It's real easy. If you don't know how to do it, Google, how do I start a YouTube channel?
Do y'all get haters?
No, very rare, very rare. And you shut them down.
Okay,
Shut them down. I have people who make fun of me.
right.
Someone said, Grandma needs to go home, or something tacky, you know, it's kind of funny. Means I watched it, right?
You're not gonna wanna work with them anyway.
I'd say if you're not getting haters, you're probably doing something wrong. You're probably trying to speak to too many people instead of just your, your group.
What is the
Yeah.
most underrated type of content?
Well, because I use Instagram, I think stories is underrated. I know that for me, when I'm a consumer on Instagram, when I'm just scrolling or whatever, when I'm on the app, the first thing I do is go through stories. I don't just scroll the feed for 15 minutes. I look at all the stories first until I kind of get checked out of that. Then I'll go to whatever else. And I think that's just it feels more intimate. It feels like you're speaking more to the, directly to the person instead of to a larger group of people. I think there's a lot of gold in stories.
It's good. I'll say, because I'm trying to, still do Facebook and stuff too, but I found, Facebook's new algorithm is weird. You don't even see your friends and people you like anymore.
Yeah.
So obviously you need to go in and actually purposely follow them and comment on their stuff, all that good stuff. But what I found is Facebook's more just like a conversation platform. So if you can go and just ask a question on there, plain text, no video or anything. I'm not even saying do video, just ask a question. I asked one in our local Helena group and it took off. Instead of me posting, I just sold 123 Main Street, which gets no engagement or anything because it's spammy. Ask a question. Hey, what are the top lunch spots? Whatever. Helena, y'all check that video out once I do post it. And then I got every single recommendation from everybody, all the favorites. And now I can go on the video for people relocating in, more people there. Hey, these are the top places that actual locals picked. I'm BSing you. This is the real stuff.
That's good.
And now it's like, okay, that makes sense. So I would say just literally learn, just ask simple questions.
So like when you did that poll, you had comments.
Yeah.
Did you then take all the comments, put them into chat or Gemini or whatever and have them like,
I'll tell you, it's the
duplicate?
simplest way. Nope,
no?
I had it on my computer.
One.
I did a little check mark count system. And I was like,
Okay.
but then there was a clear, top
Right,
five
right, yeah.
after going through half.
Yeah.
So when you got to 5, did you do the cross?
Of
It's still on my
course, we
desk.
have
I'll show you
to.
that.
And do y'all post on the stories, because there's just those little, and there's a million of them, do y'all have like a limit, or don't just do just one, or, don't get too paralyzed in the thought of it all?
Yeah, I don't think that's it. I think if you've got like 30, it's like, okay, I'm tired of seeing this person. Like, I usually probably do. I've posted 2 this morning already. I'll probably do 5 a day.
5, okay.
I don't really think about it too much, to be honest.
The rules change. Once upon a time, they say you have to always keep a story going, don't ever let it die, or do 10 a day, and then they'll say do 2 a day. It changes all the time. But what you do know is if you let it dry up and go away and wait 48 hours, the next thing you post will get a lot more attention. So there's no right.
Also, just think about stories like, I heard this a couple of years ago and it's kind of stuck with me, and it was, a life worth living is a life worth documenting. So I think through that lens of like, what am I doing today that is worth it, and maybe to me it's mundane, maybe it's something that it's just a thing that I do every day, but there's somebody out there that cares or is interested, or if they're not
With the stories, that go away, are you posting story and reel, so it stays on the
Good question,
page?
yeah.
Or you just,
I'll repost my reel of the stories sometimes, but I almost hate doing that because I don't want them to just see it in the story and never engage on the actual post.
Like they already saw that and then they click through.
Exactly.
so you go reel
And then you
first
can't track
and then
anything.
the story?
Because you can't track, I can't track in a story where they're engaged, where they're falling off the cliff, all those things. So I want to, yeah, and
So,
be-
just so make sure, right, so you're posting a reel and then moving it to a story.
sometimes I'll
Yeah.
do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
So
I kind of hate doing that though.
But is there a lot of
Why?
story that never
You
gets to
think
the
you
reel?
just can't track the analytics.
Oh,
Like,
Yeah, what-
if
so
I
what do you-
repost it on my, if I repost
You
a
just
reel on
post
my
a reel.
story, then they're just gonna watch it on the story and never engage with it on the feed.
Right.
And I can't track anything on the story. I want them in the feed watching it so I can track everything and know if it's
So you
effective
just
or
do
not.
real, and then it makes it a
So
story.
your story
No.
is
The opposite.
two different content, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I look at it as two different content buckets.
Okay.
Well, and
Oh, okay.
remember he said like
the
stories.
stories are more you and personal and
Personal.
messy and just all over the place.
Right.
Okay.
It's feed.
Usually if I'm reposting a reel to my story, it's usually after I think all the attention's gone.
Yeah.
Like after the first 24 hours or whatever, after I have the engagement metrics that I need, then it'll kind of like reboot it almost.
Okay. Final question for you guys. If
Make
the-
it good, please.
a lot of pressure. Hey, well, actually, let's take a break before the final question. Remember, this coffee talk is sponsored by. For all your morning needs, call Jason. All right, if an agent leaves here today and takes just one action item from you to improve their social media this week, what is that?
Thank you, good question.
I feel like we've kind of said.
Just do
They're
it.
only gonna go do one thing.
Decide who you want to be when you grow up. Decide what you want your focus to be, and hopefully you've already done that with your real estate business. And this is just another piece of it, and make the social media piece congruent with your business. And if you haven't figured it out on the business front, then guess what? That's your first job.
Figure out your
Because you can't be all
target
things, to all people. Figure out that at a time.
That's good. Yeah. And I would say too, decide if social media is really one of the legs of your business.
Yeah.
Right.
If it is not, quit coming to this stuff.
Right.
Just quit thinking about it.
audience.
If it is, then treat it like it's a leg of your business. Get intentional. I think the biggest thing between the three of us is we put thought beyond like, oh, should I post this or not? There's a lot of layers to this, and the deeper you go, the deeper it gets, kind of thing. But if it's a leg of your business, then treat it like that, seriously. And that's why, to me, it's worth paying somebody, because it frees up my time. It's like paying for leads to me. It's the exact same thing.
Awesome.
Action step. Y'all got phones with cameras on them, right? All right, they got the front facing camera on it. Hit record. Real quick, easy one that y'all can do, especially if you haven't ever posted or really not it's super consistent, is, hey, obviously you're talking to your group, whichever platform, but just introduce yourself. Not, hey, I'm Zach, I'm KW. Hey, I might not have met some of y'all. My name's Zach. Here's a couple things, about me in my life, and just a couple of those, and kind of see if it resonates with people. But it needs to be like authentic. It doesn't have to be super editing and all this kind of stuff. Just a real simple, and you can just do it on your story.
Yeah.
But do it today. Hit record and post it.
I actually did this, as long as I've been doing videos, I did this kind of like about me, who I am kind of thing, like a week ago. And I did it in a carousel format. Carousels are blowing up, by the way. It's basically just a bunch of posts that you scroll to keep seeing.
On Instagram, you post more than one photo, and you have to
Yeah.
scroll
It
through.
could be a picture or
Oh.
video.
Yeah.
TikTok's the same way.
You keep scrolling.
Yeah.
Mine was actually a
Oh,
video
okay.
carousel.
I
Most
didn't
of
notice
the
that.
you're right, most of the time they're pictures.
So on Instagram, you tap it, then it moves to the next picture on
Yeah.
the thing
On
at
the
the
same
top,
post.
which is the reel.
Doesn't do it on
Okay.
Facebook, but yeah.
Yeah, it's on Facebook, just a bunch of pictures or
Yeah.
whatever.
Okay.
I want to know how many of y'all have Instagram accounts? Does everybody have an Instagram account? Some don't. Everybody has one, kind of, sort of. Okay. Curious.
So here's my question for you two, since you have young children, wives. I have a private page that's just my friends. I really only post like my family stuff on there because, I don't want it disseminated to the masses. And then I have a business page. Do you guys do the same thing, or do you just have your stuff public and you just post
I
whatever?
have strong feelings about this. I think it should all be on one.
I do too.
Yeah, I do too.
Why not?
I think- And maybe my kids will hate me for this one day. But I think it's it's hard for people to get to know you as a total human being if they're separated and all they see, and it's also who wants to follow business pages.
Right.
Yeah.
You
Just
know?
not sellers, that's why I post the, just sold on there. But no, I-
And so your social doesn't have, Cody Perry, KW, whatever on it. It just is your personal, and then you of course have to bring, your brokerage. If you talk about your brokerage, like what does your page look like? Does it
I'll
just
show
have
you.
your name? I mean, I guess
My
it's
handle, my handle is at BUIBHM, at BuyBHM. So it's a real estate, but it says Cody Perry, Birmingham Realtor at the top.